And welcome to Knowing Who You Are.
Wow. Yeah, welcome to Knowing Who You Are.
Who you are.
Okay.
Who we are. No,
All right.
you are.
Okay. So, welcome to Knowing Who You Are. Everyone, probably you're having, or I'm sure pretty much that you're having a great time today and last day of the weekend.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone who, despite not having one on Sunday last week, joined us last Monday, which was really nice. But here we are. It is Sunday. I was about to say Monday.
Oh my God, it's so confusing.
Happy Sunday.
And it's the same Monday. Anyway, without any further ado, welcome everyone, whoever is joining now. So Knowing Who You Are, as you know, is we have the YouTube channel, and it's also a platform for self-improvement, personal growth, where we talk about a lot of things that helps you towards your productivity. And there are a lot of interviews with people who specialize in that field. I've done a lot of interviews with people, and there are live streams. Definitely we talk about this, and you share your experiences with us every week on our Sunday live streams. And also this one, just to make sure, we do this live stream every Sunday at 6 o'clock UK time. And we'll also have a podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. In case you just want to listen and don't want to see our face. I mean, there's nothing wrong, right?
No, it's true. If they just want to listen to our voices.
Yeah. I mean,
We are everywhere.
We are everywhere, yeah. And I joined TikTok as well.
I know. You know, he did join TikTok. So we have Knowing Who You Are on TikTok now. So everyone, subscribe.
Yeah, there's always some kind of inspirational message, because every video now I post, even on TikTok or YouTube, anywhere, I connect it, and it's truly, that's why I make the video, so I can make the point, the thing. It's a lesson for people as well, or it's a shared wisdom or acquired wisdom, which I learned from someone or reading something, or that I found from my research. So welcome to Knowing Who You Are once again, and to Syra.
Welcome, Syra.
Syra, by the way, Syra had sent me something very interesting.
Had she? Really? What did she send you?
I'm just trying to find that. Where do I have that? Yeah. Syra, are you ready for that? First, you have to tell me you're ready, because I think, was it last week or week before? We talked about food. A lot of it turned into a food blog.
Oh my God. And everyone was hungry.
Everyone was hungry.
We all knew we were hungry.
After the show, I was like, what can I eat?
Yeah.
I have to eat something. And Syra is there. Syra, are you watching? Say yes, then
Yes,
we
she
can
is.
show that.
She says,
Yeah,
"Hi, guys.
what is
Yes,
it?
what is it?
So,
Oh my God.
when we were talking, it started from Syra basically. So Syra was cooking at the time because she was cutting potatoes.
Yeah.
And to make aloo bhaji. So anyone who's from Bangladesh, they know what we're talking about. And this is what she made.
Ooh, who's hungry?
Who's hungry? And I said, Syra, where's the paratha or the parota, as we say in Bangla? So, and she said she forgot because she enjoyed the food so much she got carried away. So that's the aloo bhaji. That's the way to
Yummy.
do it from directly from an expert mom and a
Nice.
housewife.
Nice.
Great
So
job.
this was made live on Knowing Who You Are.
No way. Syra. Yeah, that's what happens when you
That's
share.
what happens.
We love to share, and because it's a lovely community now we have, everyone is like a family member, and it's really nice. Yesterday, I invited a lot of people to come and join us in the poetry evening that we had, and I performed with BBPC yesterday at Rich Mix in Bethnal Green.
Yeah.
And you were there,
Yeah,
and
it
we
was very
met
nice.
some of our Knowing Who You Are audience and listeners.
Yeah. Syra says, I never thought you'd be so cheeky. Oh, trust me, he is.
Yeah. Next time, send a picture of the paratha.
Just
please.
realize when you send stuff in, we may share it.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean,
No,
can you
it's
find
lovely.
anything wrong with it? Look at the texture,
You're
the color.
a beautiful
Yeah,
cook.
look. The oil and the onion, and I see, what's that, coriander leaves, and the fried potato, aloo bhaji.
You should start a food channel with your
Yeah,
with your voice.
I think I should. We should add some
Knowing who
reverb.
your food is.
Yeah. So yesterday we went to Rich Mix. It was intellectually
Amazing.
stimulating
Amazing.
experience, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
And all the audience members, they're so connected, and we had a lot of poets there, and we all performed together. And I really enjoyed it so much. Selena was there, Neha was there, two of our regular listeners and audience members.
Yep, I finally got to meet Selena, which is really nice. Selena, if you're watching, if not, I'm sure you soon will because you said you would. But it's really nice to actually put a face to the name and the many, many conversations we've had.
And Syra, it makes her slightly emotional.
Aww.
What is that? The fried potato or the fried onion? Or the coriander leaves? That's the question.
Or the fact that he just did a public announcement about your cooking.
Hello, likewise.
Hey,
yeah,
Selena's here too. Woohoo!
Great. So it was really, we had a great time.
Yeah,
and
it was
after
nice.
that, after the performance, we went out. We had another lovely time.
Oh, it was great.
It was like
Yeah.
post-show dinner.
Yeah.
Having biryani,
Yes.
lamb biryani, and
Yeah.
fuchka.
The fuchka
everything.
was
It
nice, yeah,
great.
yeah. But it was really inspiring because we had an evening of poetry, and this is no longer just one single community. It's now the bilingual community. So we had people from many nations there who were reciting poetry, and they all blended it in with different languages, such as Finnish, somewhere with Greek, somewhere with Bangla, and it felt so. I don't know. I just felt like sort of a united front,
Yeah,
you know.
from
and,
Punjab.
yeah.
And
India, we had
Italy, did you say?
Yeah, Italy I didn't say, but yeah, that one too.
So the thing is, they're also very fluent in their mother tongue and in English. So it was really a pleasant thing to witness and listen to.
Yeah.
And such an experience. Everyone
Yeah.
is so unique. So this creativity and how people think, just to think about this. But on a separate note and very important note, Syra says there's a story behind it. Syra,
Ooh.
share the story rather than
We-
commenting. You can give us a call as you
Yeah.
know, okay,
Yeah.
just in case. If you haven't memorized the number yet, it's there for you. It's 07308192908. So Syra can give us a call and we can talk about the story behind the aloo bhaji or
yeah.
the fried potato.
We've had an interesting 24 hours because we had the show last night, and then this afternoon we were live on. We were invited to join in on the
The
show.
Poetic Zone, which is
with
a
Mashroor, which
English
is really nice.
teaching institute.
Yeah,
Or the language institute, I'd rather say.
yeah.
And it was amazing. And first of all, just to see all these people from Bangladesh, younger generations, and what they're going through, their enthusiasm towards learning, everything. It's really stimulating, and I
Yeah.
feel grateful for these experiences that I'm experiencing through everyone who's watching and joining, and the community that we can build around the world. But Syra, you're waiting for the story. I think she's writing. I tried to take that labor of writing out of your schedule, I would say, rather, for this evening. That's why I put the number up.
But knowing her, she's probably multitasking between cooking and putting kids to bed and all that, you know.
Yeah, probably she calls and we hear some potato cutting.
Cluck, cluck,
Yeah,
cluck.
yeah, exactly. Sarah, okay, so Selena is there. She's still buzzing from last night.
Good,
What
yeah.
was the highlight for you, Selena?
Yeah, tell
Last
us.
night?
Tell us.
Yeah, you should tell us, and people would know. I should have shared that poetry performance that I did. It was really, and we had a lot of other poets, and we could have done that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Okay, promise I'll share it probably next week. Because just to arrange the whole thing so I can show it to you takes a bit of time.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, people who are joining, everyone from all around the world, anywhere, meeting Esther, that's the highlight.
Oh,
yeah.
that's very sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. Selena was saying, oh my God, you're not just virtual, you are a real human being
It's funny.
in the flesh. So, amazing.
Yep, I exist.
Nikat! And Nikat was there as
Yes,
well.
of course.
Yeah,
Hello,
so-
Nikat.
Okay, just to add that, I should share a secret with you. She's very scared of you because you all the time push her. Nika, where's your poetry? When are we going to listen to you next time?
no.
So she said that you are even more persistent than I am. So you should ask her probably.
Okay, Nikat, where is your poetry?
Yeah, just one line.
In fact, you can call us and recite some poetry online. And you know,
Yeah.
I won't stop until we hear some.
Nikat, let's open the show with your call probably, and let's talk about last night's event at Rich Mix London, which you did, and you are a major part of BBPC as well, as an organizer who's working in the background. That's why we don't get to listen to your poetry much, but she is a bookworm herself.
Oh, she said she called.
Oh, Syra called.
Yeah, we did. Oh, we had
Oh,
the sound
Syra,
off. Syra,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Very sorry.
You were right. If I'm now,
Well distracted.
I've got the sound on. No, the sound was on mute. So try again.
Give me a few minutes and I'll call
Nikat will call as well.
yes.
Excellent.
Okay, Syra, join in. Then we have Nikhat.
Yeah. Well, so just to brief on last night. So we had this poetry event, and the subject was language.
Layers
And
of language.
layers of language. And what was fascinating is that everyone had a way to express how language connects with other people. And what I thought was the most fascinating thing is that everyone who was there was from a different background. And somehow everyone was able to express themselves fully. Now, there was even an Italian gentleman who did a poem fully in Italian. But because of how he said it and how it was done, we could exactly follow what he was saying. It was fascinating. And same with the musicians. There was musicians there. It was completely instrumental. And they were able to communicate a message through their music. And it was incredible.
And throughout the event, there's one thing that kept coming up. It's the importance of mother tongue. And sometimes, no matter how many languages we end up learning, definitely some people can reach a point when you are so fluent that you don't know the difference between the mother tongue and the second language.
Yeah.
But most of the people were saying that when you try to express yourself, including myself, that sometimes we feel that need to express certain personal feelings and emotions in our mother tongue. So, yeah. And Selena said, I love Choi's piece, Neem, Sarah, the Finnish girl.
Yeah.
Can't remember all the names. Yeah. Choi
Yeah.
was good. And also... Oh, I forgot. There's this Greek
Oh,
poet.
my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Mixed it up with these two things,
Yeah.
Greek and English. It was
And there was
really
this
nice.
other poet who I thought was the best.
yeah.
And that was Ershad.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking she's talking about the Nigerian poet.
He was amazing.
Chika, I think.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah,
Super
amazing.
cool.
If I,
Hey, can we call Syra back from here?
yeah, let's
Okay,
do.
good.
Sarah, we are
we're
calling you back.
just so you
since
know.
you're not calling us back.
Incoming.
You're so persistent, as you know.
Well, she was the first caller. She deserves the first call.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hi, Sarah.
How are you?
We thought we'd just call you back. It's probably easier because I had the sound on mute because I didn't want to disturb the show, which is very silly. But we have
That's
you.
Okay. Yes. Hi. How are you both?
We're good. We're always good, actually.
We are kind of expecting you yesterday, but even though we
Yeah.
didn't ask you
I
like
really
that,
wanted to
Sarah,
meet
you
you.
have to be there, but it was such an interesting environment. You would have loved it.
Yeah.
And we had so much fun after the event. We went out, we had fuchka, we had
We went to
biryani.
Deshi restaurant.
Yeah, it's a charista, I think.
really nice.
You probably know about this.
So-
So, what's the story behind the aloo bhaji? We should put that on the screen as we speak.
We lost her.
Sarah is coming back, hopefully.
Yep.
I think, Sarah's
Yep,
there.
we've got you back.
Okay.
Here
Yeah.
you are.
You can hear me?
Yep,
Yep.
we can.
And the aloo bhaji is there
Okay,
on the
good.
screen, so you can tell us the story.
Oh, it just makes me emotional because when sorry, one second, my daughter's something. Okay, all right. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah. So when my mother was alive,
Did you call her from WhatsApp?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, call her directly.
okay. Syra, just so you know, if you're seeing this, we're calling you directly. One moment, please.
Oh, yeah, Sarah's back. She's calling
How do I
from-
do that?
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Hi.
A proper landline. A
Hopefully
proper
you'll be better.
landline.
No, it's WhatsApp.
my Wi-Fi connection is really bad today. I don't know
Oh
why.
no.
So,
What was I saying?
when your mom was alive.
Yeah, so when my mom was alive, she used to come around to mine to make the aloo bhaji because I could never get it right. It was always either mashed potato or it was too salty. Can you please come and make the aloo bhaji for me? I have a craving. And she would come and make it for me. And every time I said to her that, can you please teach me? Like, what am I doing wrong?
And what did you find? I want to get that tip too.
Aye.
So that's what we were talking about. Syra cooked the aloo bhaji the other day when we were talking. Hi, David. So, David, by the way, I've joined your domain now. I'm on TikTok. So, yeah. So, unfortunately, we have to do. Just
I'm
type
calling her
Syra
on the
problem.
normal.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So landline
We're
is a-
calling you on a landline.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Because WhatsApp is creating a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Sarah, here you come. Just be ready.
Okay, so welcome to everyone. David, Selena. Selena said Chica was amazing.
cannot be
Exactly.
completed as your account-
She's probably calling. Yeah. because it's a disconnection in harmony, or we still use for that same
Oh,
reason.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you have
yeah.
to use WhatsApp
Fair enough. So I
to
can't
call
use
back
this?
now.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Syra, we're going to make this happen. Third time lucky.
Yeah. Let's see. So in the meantime, we are waiting for Sarah. What Sarah was saying, what I was trying to get to, that when her mom was alive, she was my aunt too, and lovely human being, and my mommy, in fact, as you know, many Bengalis who are watching. So my mom's cousin's wife, and Sarah is my cousin in a sense. So when she was alive, she used to teach Syra how to do it properly. That was where she was trying to get to, and I was trying to get the tip myself how to do it properly. So people who are watching, please let us know where you're calling from, which part of the world, and where you're tuning in from. Let's speak. And Nikat, as I know, who was supposed to call us, yes, Syra is trying to get in
Okay.
touch.
Syra! Syra. Third time lucky.
What is happening today?
The story is so beautiful, the airwaves just can't handle it. It's that simple.
I'm wondering, does my mom not want this to be aired?
Oh, that's... Well, in the meantime, Ershad was explaining to the audience what we did here, which is that whenever it is that you wanted it, you called her and she would come over and make it for you.
Yeah, she would come and make it for me, and I used to ask her to teach me, like, what am I doing wrong? And she used to say, listen, just let me make it for you now, and you will learn. You will get it one day.
Yeah.
So when I do get it, God, I wish I could tell her that, you know what, I can get...
Gosh. This is
We're
this is
missing.
it's such a beautiful message.
I don't know what's happening today.
It's terrible.
Uh,
Okay, well,
Yeah, carry on. Let me
anyway,
fix
so Syra, I'm not sure if it's at our end or if it's at your end, but obviously it is a wonderful story that is trying to get on the airwaves somehow.
Okay,
Yeah.
and interesting thing. Yeah. David says she looks gorgeous. Well, David, let me tell you the story. When she got ready for the show,
Oh,
she-
you're talking about me?
yeah,
Oh,
she
I
was
see.
going back and forth and thinking, and I kept on telling her, look, you're looking good. It's all good. And at some point I even said, I promise someone's going to come and say that and echo the same thing with me and say that you're looking gorgeous. Thank you. Making me,
Thank
you
you.
proved me right. Great.
Yes.
So, Nikat, you can join in the meantime, and probably we'll have to read Syra's message. I don't know what was happening, or it
Yeah.
could be my Wi-Fi
It
too.
could be at our end.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing she can do is she can send in a voicemail and we can play it on the WhatsApp. If that works, Syra, you want to give it a go? Send your voicemail, tell your story over there, and we will somehow make it work. We want to hear the story.
And David gives me the consolation as well. You're
You
looking
are so
handsome too.
I know, you do actually.
thank you.
You do, absolutely.
Oh yeah, call has arrived. Nikat.
Nikat, okay. Greetings, Nikat.
Okay. Hi guys.
Hi.
Greetings, Nikat.
Oh,
Nikat, you have to turn the volume down of the show. Just talk to us through the call, probably
Yeah,
using
yeah,
the phone.
yeah.
I think it's a little bit slow.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to turn off the live show because you're going to get very confused.
Not turn off,
I'll
just
put it on
turn it
mute.
down.
I'll
Just
listen to your
speak
expressions.
using your mobile phone.
You know what? I think it's a little bit slow because, I'm hearing the sounds and then, your expressions are still kind of like lingering.
This is correct. Yeah.
So what you have
Oh.
to do, if you look at the live, on the live show, problem would be there will be always a lag. So you have to turn the volume down of the live show and talk to us just taking the mobile phone
Yeah.
as we speak on a phone.
Ignore what's happening on the screen because
Yeah.
it's about a minute behind.
Yeah.
All right, I will look at you guys.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you sound perfect. You're completely in synchronized with us now.
And everyone can listen to you as well. So Nikat, welcome to Knowing Who You Are weekly live stream, and this is the first time you're calling us. And we had a great time last night as well. So if you could explain to the audience what we experienced last night at Rich Mix and the amazing thing that we had done all together, pull it off.
I don't know. I feel like it's an experience where you have to really be there because there were so many things happening, and I mean, I just want to add a little thing that, as someone who was kind of coordinating and managing the event, it was a bit difficult for me to fully experience it because I was constantly kind of like ushering people in and like just checking a few things. But I think from before the event even started, what was nice is that, you could really see the community of people that had come together, like all the artists who were there. Like these are people who never really knew each other just a week ago, Ershad probably knows few people from the BBC, but all our guests, some of them met on the 22nd, and a lot of them were meeting for the first time yesterday.
True.
But the way that they all got along was really amazing, and I think that really showed in how the event, went out. And there was music, there was poetry.
Yeah.
There's an interesting thing about creative people that when you are there, as if there's no competition, it's your own voice, and you just want to, because you love poetry, those poets I'm talking about, including myself, we just there to have this conversation with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. There was like, it was literally like a multimedia experience.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on, and everyone's poetry was so different. No one had, a set style. Some were bilingual. Some just had, like one or two words from another language. Some were just all in English, but they all had a unique quality, like through their tone or body language, and I think that really reflected. And I think at the end of it, what we really saw was that it was really fun as well. Like the audience participation part at the end.
Yeah.
It was so random, but it worked.
And you are a bookworm yourself, and you call yourself, you have a channel, I think, you have an account on Instagram as well, which is Kitabi.
Yes.
Yeah. So the next question that comes to you, since you're live, then we're going to ask you again, Nikat, when you're writing, when are we going to listen to your poetry?
Oh, God. How about this? If Esther promises me that if I share something, she will also share something with me, then maybe I'll consider it.
I can, but I would have to get it from next door.
Yeah.
That's
So
the only...
do you have something ready? Because she has accepted the challenge.
Oh, gosh. The thing is, like, you guys are going to be so disappointed. I've literally written...
Oh, no.
No.
You see, the point is that I don't believe that you have to sound like you're a literature geek in order to convey a message. Because if you just... It can be so simple. It's just and if that's the way you communicate in a certain way, the most important thing is that the message that you're trying to communicate comes across. And I think that was the beauty of yesterday. It was so different.
Yeah.
Some people, you can see they've probably done a lot of training in this and courses and bachelors, and some just like writing their thoughts and all of it. The whole point of knowing who you are is that there isn't a limit. It's just, if that's who you are, then don't try to be something else, Like, I don't sound like him when I write my poetry at all.
The jokes apart, I mean, we won't put you on the spot. So if you, I mean, we can always do that, but it's just a running joke now, because every time it's kind of every time I see you, say, okay, Nikat, when? So I thought, why not do it now? So Nikat,
You know what?
yeah.
There is something that I was supposed to post on the BTC social media page.
Okay.
So we had a workshop, and I think it was self-portrait poetry.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
it was, a lot to do with the self and, knowing yourself, as the show is called. But I just felt so self-conscious that I never actually put it on there. But I don't mind sharing it with you guys and the select few people listening. So let me just bring it up.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Oh, great.
Okay. I've been told that I read really fast, so if you guys need me to repeat it, just let me know.
No, it's fine. Carry on.
But I'll try to, be slow.
Yeah. Just take a moment.
I am curious and yet monochrome. I wonder what colours lie behind closed lids. I hear the hues of blue, lavender and yellow. I see colours in black. I want to see the rainbow. I am curious and yet monochrome. That's it.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
love that. I love that.
See, it's so pithy. I mean, you had so much meaning. It was full of meaning at the same time. So another thing that I want to talk to you about, because it's a segue, because you said that every time you want to post something, you get a bit self-aware of the whole situation. And you feel like, so what do you get aware of, or what makes you so self-aware, or what do you get? Is it insecurity, any kind? What do you feel every time you want to post something?
Um, it's not really with posting. I think because this was more like with posting something
sharing.
that I've written, and I think there's a lot. I mean, I think there's a lot of pressure sometimes when you work in a certain field that you need to be good at it. And I think in this situation, like, you know, because I, you know, work with BBPC, it's like, oh, you know, everyone just assumes that I'm really good at poetry. And I think for me, like, just because of you know, the academic setting I've been in, like, you know, analyzing poetry and critically breaking it down is one thing. But in terms of creating, you know, I write reviews and analytical pieces, and I'm okay with that. But it's just, I don't know, like, poetry always just felt so deep, and it's like, you know, you're kind of like revealing a lot about yourself. And I think I find that hard just in general. Like, you know, I don't know, I like to believe I'm a warm-friendly person, but I think, you know, a lot of people have said to me that it takes you a long time to really get close to someone and, you know, actually, like, you know, go deep about your inner feelings. And I think that's something that maybe perhaps I struggle with when it comes to writing poetry.
Makes sense.
But why I was asking this question, knowing who you are, as I was telling you as well yesterday, that it's more about these issues. Sometimes we have these negative voices in our mind, say, what says that, okay, look, you're not good enough. Don't put it out. Say someone wants to start a podcast or a YouTube channel or start showing their performances, or they're like, okay, people would laugh at me. And then, so these are the things we talk about, these negative voices sometimes when we have doubts about our own work, even though I know that you have the expertise, you've been, I mean, through your academic background that you have and the qualification as well. So you very much should be capable of doing it, but a degree doesn't make us well equipped of being a poet or a writer. It's a different art anyways. You're right, very much. I agree with you too. And I appreciate that you respect it. But the thing is, we are all poets in our own ways. Sometimes when we can have the venues to express ourselves, I think that's when, because it's the language of the subconscious to me, I feel. There are things that we cannot express in normal words, which is legible or understandable for people, but sometimes when we do it through poetry, it becomes easier.
You know, it's really interesting because I think, I mean, I don't know if this is a little bit off topic, but I think it kind of relates back. But recently, just in my life, personally, but also, you know, career-wise, I've been told, like, literally the same advice. And the advice is, like, recognize your self-worth, like, what you're good at doing. You know, in terms of, like, job applications, it was actually Masroora, you know, who we met yesterday, who, you know, she was telling me, like, you know, when you're writing these applications, you can't say we, that my team did this. You have to say you. You know, talk about yourself, sell yourself, say what you did. And then, you know, parallel to that, a friend of mine recently was just telling me the same thing. Like, you know, you need to really kind of, like, in your mind, put yourself up there. And, you know, instead of looking at it as this is something that I just happen to do, actually really, you know, rearrange how you're thinking about yourself in your mind and, you know, really acknowledge that this is something you've achieved and that you're good at. And kind of be self-aware of that and also appreciate and kind of be proud of yourself. And I think that kind of feeds into what you're saying as well.
Very much.
Because when you projected yourself, that self-respect, and there's a difference between the idea of self-worth and self-esteem. So we talked about it before as well. Say, we are, as a human being, we have the uniqueness, yourself, Esther, me, and everyone who's listening and watching us as well. So the moment we understand this uniqueness, because I cannot copy what you have, you cannot copy what I have. You can copy it probably, but it won't be the authentic voice. So that self-worth, once we become confident about it, and at least when we're aware of it, and it's quite separate from self-esteem. It's more about what you have achieved. Say, for example, someone said, I'm a PhD in literature or things like that. That's totally different from that. So she's quite right, Masroora. I mean, she said that to you. According to you, what do you think that term self-worth, what does it mean?
I think it can mean many things, and I feel like it's. I think
Your definition, it doesn't have to be like any bookish definition or anything, just what you feel
No,
like.
I don't mean in terms of booky definitions, but I just mean, like, when I kind of think of self-worth, sometimes it's a bit hard. I mean, not hard, but it's like, I feel like it's something that you kind of reconfigure as you get older. And
Yeah,
true.
yeah. And it changes. It's
So-
true.
When I was 16, my self-worth was based on a certain amount of things. And as I got older, just more things added to it, and increasingly. So, now I have like a personal sense of self-worth, which is maybe tied to my relationships and, how I see myself, amongst those relationships. But also career-wise, I have a self-worth at work as well. And I think as you get older, you just keep adding and adding and adding.
But I think our values, they remain the same. It transforms, but if you look at the core values, they always stay the same. Okay, if you like, say someone says that I want to be truthful in all relationships, I want to be honest in whatever I'm doing and honest with the people. So you see the reflection in every spheres of your life. I think that's how it works. So it's true, but the self-worth is the moment anyone is born, to be honest. That's why I am talking, or I was talking about this.
Yeah.
Because to be a poet, to be honest, no one is born poet. Or neither was I, but I felt like expressing myself in certain ways. To be honest, when I was in college or high school, when I started writing, I used to write very obscure poetry. So people used to read and say, Ershad, do you think that anyone would really like it because they can't even understand? Then, because I was inspired by James Joyce a lot. So that was the reason I started making up my own words. That's one of his skills, and he had done that, as you know, Ulysses and Finnegan's Wake. So I was kind of into that school of thought, but I'm trying to get a little better in terms of simplify things, but yeah, still in the process, work in progress. So Nikat, yeah, please go on.
I was just going to say, you're literally the second person I know who's actually said that they like James Joyce. Because I know a lot of people who just don't like James Joyce. I enjoyed A Portrait of a Young Artist the most.
Oh, yeah. I think
That was
that's
kind
one
of
of
my
his
favorite
accessible books, that novel. One of the books that you can access and you can understand, but still there are elements of his later work in that book as well. Because that's where he started this work with the stream of consciousness. So, yeah, I love that book. I remember that. But I had read also a very bad translation of the book too.
That doesn't help.
Oh my God. But I thankfully enough, I was reading the text, but because I was assigned, the book by Arundhati Roy, The God of Small Things.
Yes.
So
That's
I was
amazing.
assigned by this publisher when I was in Bangladesh, long time ago, literally 2 decades back when I was at the uni. Someone said that if you could translate that book for us. And I started doing the translation. I've done half of it. But then I was checking what other translations are in the market. And oh my God, I don't want to name names here, but the translations I have read, it's horrible because sometimes their expressions or phrases, those were literally translated. So you can imagine. So if you said throw down the gauntlet, if someone is saying, and if you just literally translate the gauntlet, throwing down the gauntlet and what it would turn into. So,
I'm just trying to think how it would sound if you translate it in Dutch. De handschoen neergooien. It would make completely no sense.
So
I know, I think
yeah.
literal translations are just, I don't know, like, sometimes I just really wonder, like, how people who know both languages can, like, literally translate something word for word and be like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, I've had to do translation into Dutch actually, and it was really interesting having to do it with concepts because it was a very poetic work, And I was allowed to basically use different ways of describing it to get the same concept. And it was a great project because it made me think. Because you had to it's not just like you literally translate it. You actually take the thing, you have to fully embrace and understand the concept and then say it in a way that that concept will be done. And how we did it is you translate it into Dutch, and then another person who had not seen the text translated it back into English, and if you had the same thing in the end, then it was a correct thing. I mean, how thorough was that? But it was amazing to do. Very, very good exercise.
I think Selena said something about for the small things. I just wanted to say, like, to be honest, I do think it's a difficult book for like to get into. And I think with me in general, I definitely always writing, like her fiction and non-fiction. I haven't read her latest work of fiction, but I do think that, you know, she's not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
I think often, like, we kind of feel like we have to love writers just because they're popular, but, you know, we might not get into them because we just don't like their style, and I think that's fine. It's like the same thing with James Joyce. A lot of people just don't like their style. Doesn't mean he's a bad writer. This means, you know, it's not
exactly.
That
yeah.
Case.
True, because there are many Bangladeshi writers as well. Bengali books I'm talking about. They're very popular. Very popular. I won't mention their name. People would hate me if I say that. But I never picked up any of his books, to be honest, because that wasn't.
I can guess who you're talking about.
I'm joking.
Is it H.A.?
Oh my God!
No,
yeah.
Don't say. Shall I get my quick message?
Yeah. How do you know?
I'm
oh my God!
Get
How
my
could you
poetry
get?
as I promised. I'll be 1 minute.
Oh my God!
You gave away two things.
What?
Popular and him. Like.
Okay.
The most popular Bangladeshi writer is.
Yeah.
This guy.
So I felt at that time, because I was always quite serious. In terms of literature, I always enjoyed serious poetry, serious writing. I always used to read essays, and which I still do. And Selena, oh my gosh, she's going deeper into it. She's asking, is it Azad or Ahmed? Well, by the way.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, sadly, we have lost both the authors. They're amazing in their own right. Because I would say Humayun Azad was my favorite. I would read more of his essays. But Ahmed, I would say he started a trend in movies, and also a different voice he had. If you had seen his way of things, how he would portray on screen as well, you would watch it, you think, oh my God, I know about this. Why didn't I think of this? Why didn't I write about this? But he did. So all kudos to him. So, yeah. But the thing is, there are people I know, they had read every single book by certain author, but I probably didn't feel like even reading. I mean, even in West Bengal, same thing. There are writers, very popular writers, but I never finished or I never touched any book written by those writers. I mean, it's totally down to, it's a subjective thing.
Yeah.
So,
I can see Esther pulling out her notebook.
Yeah, so are you ready? Are you? Oh, you have yours too, right? You got your book or your notebook? You read that already for us?
I'm impressed. She's going to keep her promise.
Well, I mean, I have to keep a promise. They were more alive on air. By the way, my book, this is from India, actually. It's I use it to write all my notes. Well, anyway, there's just two short ones which I wrote, and you'll see when we're talking about being a geek, which I'm absolutely not. But I like simplicity. So this was one of them. Why is it that truth hurts yet sets you free? Why is it that lying to stop hurting? Sorry, I'm going to start again. Why is it that truth hurts yet sets you free? Why is it that lying to stop hurting others ends up hurting me? On the day I have the courage to see, I will have the peace to be free and really hope to be me.
Wow, nice.
Wow.
Very good.
And there was one.
I can't clap and hold my phone at the
No, it's totally fine. I
like
was,
this.
Yeah. And then there was one more called Rising Again. And I like the subject of truth because it's just, I don't know, it's just like an integrity thing, which is sort of really close to heart, I think. And it's so here it goes. Rising again. I am truth because I am me. I am the author of my destiny. If I fall, I will rise stronger. If I die, I will come back longer. Love and friendship pulls one through, and with working hard, one's dreams will come true.
Wow.
There you go.
Very much like
That's so hard.
yeah.
It's very heart-touching, and right now, especially for me, just hearing those words really meant a lot. Also
Good.
Because I'll tell you guys a little anecdote about work. Not recently, but past few months, I've got into a bit of trouble at work, and so I work in the civil service, and
Wow.
As you guys may be aware, like any government body, you have to be very careful with your opinions and certain things. So the thing that happened was I was told to do something. I said I'm not going to do it because I don't think it's in the best interest of people, and it caused a bit of friction.
Wow.
And at the time, I really questioned myself and thinking, is this the right way to go? Because it could jeopardize my future there and everything. And then I don't know where, I just somehow got this confidence after a really long time that, whatever happens, at the end of the day, I know I'm not wrong. And the reason that these people are trying to push me down is because, because they know that I'm right and they don't want to do what's right.
Right.
And if I was wrong, then I wouldn't fit.
You've been placed on hold. Please wait.
Oh my God.
Oh, she mistakenly probably touched that button.
Or the government was just listening to what she was saying.
Oh my God. I hope not.
Nikat, if you're hearing this or seeing this, we did not cut you off. We were enthralled by
Yeah,
what you
you're
were
still
saying.
connected. Oh yeah.
Oh, you're
Hi
back.
guys. I think I went in the hole by accident. I don't know what the last
You know what Esther was saying?
I was saying this must be a government plot because they don't want you to say what you're about to say.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that you're hearing your poetry kind of took me back to those moments when I was kind of struggling with those things, and it just reaffirmed to me that what I did.
No, Nika, the thing is,
not wrong.
our personal values, as I was saying before, and also the accountability towards oneself, it's very important.
Yeah.
Once you lose that, then you can't find happiness, because at some point in your life, it will bite you at some point and it will come after you. You'll feel very bad and feel, okay, because that's your core value.
Yeah.
If that's what makes what you are, and if you don't practice that, you'll feel it at some point, sooner or later. So I think you've done the right thing.
Yeah. Very courageous.
So this clap you can
Thank
see
you.
and
Yay.
hear. Yeah. Great, Nika.
Thank you for sharing it.
No,
Absolutely. Thank you for
definitely.
sharing your story and everything. And we will see you again soon, huh?
Yes, hopefully.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for your call.
Thank you, Nika. Have a
you.
great
Bye.
evening.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
It's interesting what she was saying because the thing that I was reading, just so you know, I mean, they were written at a time when I was actually going through a tough time in my life. I had some really tough decisions to make, and it was interesting to see in the end of the day, I hadn't been honest to myself, and I hadn't been honest to the people around me, which was also not okay. And by really just facing, where I was at in my life at that time and just becoming completely honest and straight, it's actually in the end of the day how you sort things out.
Yeah.
Because
It brings peace.
it brings peace for the people around you, because when there's something not right, people around you know that there's something not right and they're trying to read into it. And at the time, the worst thing was that for my personal integrity, if you don't have your personal integrity in order, in your own house in order, you can't make genuine decisions, and you also can't be strong. And
Also, there are some decisions in life. Initially, it's hard, but once you have taken it, which is aligned with your value, you'll find peace.
Yeah, and in the end of the day, everyone around me found peace as well, because, in the end of the day, it was the right thing to do, and it worked out fine. And then I started really working on myself and really deciding that I'm going to be the best element of myself that I've ever been. And then we found each other.
Perfect. So now,
Yes.
we were not ignoring you, everyone who sent a lot of messages. Shushmita Kaur, how are you all? We are doing great, and she's asking to all of you. Hope you are doing great. David, Neha, Selena, Syra, and everyone else. And we also had Nikat. Such a lovely conversation we had with Nikat.
Yeah,
Touched
you're
up a lot of
wonderful.
things, and these are the things we talk about in Knowing Who You
I
Are.
know, huh?
So Selena said stream of consciousness. James Joyce, Virginia Woolf.
Yeah,
She
makes
added another
sense.
writer. She's asking, have you read Ulysses? Yeah, I started. I know the story, what happened. Selena, if you don't know what happened, he had written the first draft, the full book, and then it was burned. Then he wrote it again. It was 1,000 page or 1,100 pages probably. Dubliners, yeah, I have that book too. I love that. I bought God of Small Things in Bangladesh but couldn't get into it. I mean, did you not find the time, or you just couldn't access that one or the text? What do you feel? Let us know. Arundhati Rai, someone I would recommend. Oh, Anuradha Roy. Wow, that's a different writer. So literature, all things, yeah, like all things is subjective. We talked about Humayun Azad and Humayun Ahmed. Arundhati Roy, you mean Selena? Yeah. Neha said Arundhati Roy, who wrote God of Small Things. Selena, no. Replying, okay. Nikat, yeah. Love back to you. Thank you. It's a lovely call. And Neha Karim, could you explain a bit, Ershad, what do you mean by core values? Okay, it wasn't my cup of tea, Selena says. God of Small Things, I mean. Okay, let's get back to the topic of core values. What do you think of core values?
Well, I think there is your own personal integrity on what is right and wrong. You know what area of the world you're in where certain things are acceptable and certain things are not. I think in the end the most important thing is if you live by actions that cause the most prosperity, the most positivity, the most productiveness to your environment, then those are the right decisions. Things that maybe help yourself but would harm a lot of others, not necessarily the right thing. You want to do something or think in a way in which it is the most survival for you and for everyone around you.
Well, core value, the definition, it's more subjective. What you said, that's for you. That's your core value.
That's my personal
So
point
core
of view.
values are those, say, what your whole life is guided by. It's your principle for your life. Say some people might say, okay, my core value is earning money till I die.
Yeah.
So no matter what I have to do, I have to earn more money. No matter, I would never be satisfied, and I'll keep on earning money until I die. And whatever way I have to earn that money, what I have to do, I really don't care. That's his value. That's his core value. So he would keep on doing things. Whether we find it right or wrong, that doesn't matter to that person. But there would be a person who might be saying, as I said, that I want to be, and you don't have to have like 10 core values. There could be only one, and everything around it would be revolving around that one core value. Say you want to be true to yourself, true to your relationships, true to your work, true to your colleague. Someone might say that I don't like being angry with people, treating people badly. So everything you do, you try to avoid those situations where you're getting angry with people.
Yeah.
So say, for example, for me, I feel that honesty and truthfulness and also anger is one thing that I have included in my core values a few years back. And I decided that I would not get angry with people, no matter what. There are ways we cannot avoid. I always talk about the sympathetic response of our autonomous nervous system, which is automatic thing. You have no hand in it. Someone calls your name, you react, you get angry, you feel angry. But then how you respond to it. I always mention about Viktor Frankl's quote where he said that between the stimulus and the response, you have a place there. In that gap, the moment, you can decide what you are, who you want to be.
That's very true.
So,
because what is being said to you is not necessarily a choice you have, but how you respond to it is absolutely a choice you have. And I think if you look at how in one of the very, very first conversations we had about relationships, you asked me, what is your viewpoint on anger? And having fights.
Having fights in a relationship.
Having fights in a relationship. And I remember thinking, God, first of all, I thought, I hope I'm saying the right thing. Because, I don't want to, And then I thought, no, I don't actually care what you think, because my viewpoint is that having fights in a relationship is complete and utter rubbish. Because what it basically tells you is that you haven't managed to resolve the situation with normal communication. You couldn't just keep your cool to not take it out on the other person. And so if you start fighting, you've already lost completely control of what it is that you're trying to sort out. And I would like to know who has ever spoken an honest word and proper, valuable communication when they were angry. I haven't.
Yeah.
You're angry. Anything starts spouting out, and then you hurt someone. You can really hurt someone. So yeah, completely agree.
So anger, I think one of the things, and in a relationship as well, I heard a lot of times, there are a lot of different, that's one of the values I've seen. Some people say to spice up the relationship, you need to have a bit of argument. But the thing is that anything that doesn't bring you any positive results, why would you do that?
It just makes a dent.
Yeah, it's a dent.
Because what you say, you can't unsay it.
Exactly. You have that in your memory. So that person you are supposed to be so loving with, and you end up saying something harsh towards them. And how do you think you can take that word back? And you open certain doors, as I call it. The moment it's out of your system to that person, you
gone.
open that door, that person, that you can get the similar attitude in return.
Yeah.
That the other person you're talking to like that, they will talk to you like that in return. So it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
Totally. And Nikat says, thank you guys for a great chat. I want to share a book I really loved, And Our Faces, My Heart,
Wow.
Brief as Photos. Wow.
Wow, what
By
an
John
interesting
Berger.
name.
It is food for the soul.
Nice.
I'm going to have a look.
I
And
love it.
there's another thing we are planning to do. It is starting a book club around Knowing Who You Are, which is very important because we have certain informed listeners and audiences, and they're really so good at this one, and they do read a lot. So they have their different study list and everything they share, they read. It's quite different sometimes, which I haven't read. So I would like to share with you, and we should come back and read a few pages and sometimes what we have learned, and we can talk about the certain chapters that we have read of this book for that week. It'll be really interesting. I can start sharing those texts as well, and we read those texts, and we can start talking about it. I think it would be really helpful. People who want to read certain books and they can't get into it at the moment due to time constraint, or sometimes it's a matter of habit. Probably through the book club we can start doing it. And Nikat, thank you. We'll take down the name of this book again. And in the meantime, everything we have got so far, I have a list of books that I've received in the last few weeks of the last few live streams. I'm going to make a list. I'm going to post it out soon. And probably I'll start sharing the text with the audience members. I'll find a way to do that. Probably it would be a newsletter, some kind, where you can find it probably from a Google Drive. Let's see. I mean, I'm planning. So then we can talk about it, whatever we learn, and we can spend a few minutes and getting the message across and sharing it with each other. Let's see, we can do that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Nikat says, great idea for a book club. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We were talking about that yesterday also, weren't we? Yeah.
Because this is something I've been thinking for quite some time. And so core values, okay, let's do one thing. Let's write down our core values. Everyone. So you know what core value is now. Neha knows, Selena knows, Nikat knows, and you know too, I know. I've shared mine already. So yeah, Esther can start. And everyone else, it doesn't have to be like 5, 6, 10 core values. It could be only one. And based on that one, your whole life can be governed by. So you can try. So it'll be really interesting to see what people come up with, and we can talk about it. And
I think, well, mine, when you were talking, and I think we share a lot of that as well. Mine is that I like, my life is driven and my actions are driven by uplifting other people. And by that is done through the arts. It's done through my photography. It's done through my writing. It's done through this. And I feel that if I can uplift other people, then I feel fulfilled.
yeah.
And it's like my work is mustered by that. Like everything I do has that way. And it's not about me, you know, when I write my poetry, it's not about look what a great writer I am, or when I do my painting, it's because I can express my way that way, and I feel that's sort of the main thing that has always driven me from
Yeah.
the age of 15. I've worked with charities, I worked with community centers, I worked with people like-minded, and it's been extremely fulfilling. And when I don't do that, I feel that my whole world just sort of collapses into a thing.
Yeah, this is what I realized as well. Being, say, when I was doing all the TV shows for, it's nearly 2 decades now, TVs, radios, and everything. I felt at some point the things I've been doing, it's more or less my show, and it's gun and fun in harmony with Ershad and these and that. Whatever I'm doing. So I was trying to think, is it all about me or it's about the people, what I'm trying to do? So at some point I realized, and I found out as well, that being in service to others gives you more pleasure than to yourself. Because when you help others, you build a community around you that when you can never be lonely, and you always have a place in the society when you're a giver. And the thing is that if someone says that I want to be a leader is the one, you'll find they're always in the background. They push people forward because they are the traders of hope. At the same time, they are the slayers of fear. So this is very,
Wow.
very important, because fear comes, as we talk about fear every now and then, it's a lack of certainty in our lives. Whenever we see that it's going down, the lack of certainty is happening in our life, that's when fear strikes, insecurity, and that's when we become self-aware of a situation.
Yeah.
So every now and then when we feel that you're facing certain people, you're projecting yourself, you're addressing certain audience members, why would you feel self-aware? Because we have done a show this afternoon.
Yeah.
So we were invited by this language institute where everyone's asking about how can I get good at English and all those different questions. But main thing was that what do you feel that your value, do you connect the knowledge of that language with your own value? Because this is some of the ideas people have as well. Okay, can you speak English fluently? Oh, you're a very smart person.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You could
Yeah.
speak very good Bangla, then you can still
I
be a
know.
smart person, or even you can speak very good Arabic or any
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
That's a different thing altogether, because it's just a means of communication,
Yeah.
a language. So, yeah, and Nikat says, nice, Nikat. Thank you, first of all. So everyone get ready. Nikat and Esther shared theirs. Nikat says transparency, respect, compassion.
Beautiful.
So when you have that transparency, you have the honesty, integrity, then definitely everything you do, and she had proved the story she shared with us.
Yes.
She had done that.
Yeah.
She had risked her career, her work as well, and she put herself into trouble because of her choices
Yeah,
or the core
yeah,
values.
exactly.
But I'm hope end of the day she's feeling better.
Yeah.
And respect and compassion towards others.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's very important, and I feel the moment you respect someone, so we were talking about the relationship thing, argument. So someone who argues the point that you need a little bit of argument, but end of the day, your main thing is the relationship. You argue, but you can always get better again and get back to the same place where you had been in terms of relationship. But the moment you argue with someone, you say certain things, you lose the respect.
Yeah.
So say for Nikat, when she's saying that she respects someone, she has a compassion towards someone, it really encompasses everything.
Yeah, it really
so then
does.
if
Yeah.
she's having a trouble with her, say with her partner or anyone she's connected to, or even a family member, the first thing she would think about, my core value is respect. So let's listen to this person. Give them the space.
Yeah.
And also be compassionate towards their grievance as well, what they're going through.
Yeah.
So how can you end up having a fight?
Yeah,
when
it's very
this
nice.
is your core value,
Yeah.
transparency, respect, compassion. Perfect, Nika.
Yeah.
Kudos.
So Neha is saying, I will start writing about core values and reflect into it. I start forgetting my core values because I am busy to value other people's core values more. You're funny. Okay, so now we do have to mention one thing here. Neha is an extremely busy individual. She is training to be a medical doctor, which brings with it a tremendous amount of study. And she is the owner of a restaurant. So Neha, we understand and we look forward to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. I mean, she's probably looking after the values of her customers
Yes,
in the restaurant.
exactly. That's right. We want you to value your health and make sure you continue sleeping enough.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
But core value-wise,
Yeah.
that could be... Neha, look, you said that you will start writing down about your core values, but probably your core value is taking care of others.
It is. And we can attest to that.
We definitely can. And also, even you, without knowing, you thought that, okay, what is my core value? I have to find out. But you have just proved over and over again. You've proven it so many times. And now we can read that.
Yeah.
You're busy valuing other people's core values. So you're a carer. That could be your core value, that you look after people. You can't help it, no matter what.
Yeah.
People hurt you probably, then you still look after them.
Yeah.
And when you have your own priorities, you forget about them because you respect, or rather you care for other people more. So we found out Neha's core value, through her subconscious text. That's really nice.
That's funny.
So, Shampa Devan, thank you. Very nice program. So, she's a doctor herself.
Great.
So, we are talking about core values. So, if Shampa can write down as well her core values, and Selena, I was thinking Selena would write down straight away. She's still...
where are you, Selena?
Yeah, Selena, you should write down. And Sarah, I don't know if she's around. So, everyone, that's true indeed. Oh, so nice of you guys. Yeah.
Aw.
Neha, that's true, and we're not flattering. So, that's something we have experienced ourselves firsthand.
Yeah, we have.
So, we know. So, Shampa Devan also, by the way, she sings. She does quite a lot of live, I've seen on Facebook. And she's a singer as well. She plays a bit of guitar. So, yeah, very nice, talented person. Another multi-hyphenate, I would say.
Great.
So, people who are watching, there are things we have talked about so far today. It's about creativity, which was my experience from last night's intellectually stimulating experience I had at Rich Mix, reciting poetry and sharing with other people. And Esther kindly shared her poetry, and Nikat for the first time shared her poetry with us. So
Yay.
yeah, great job, and we finally got that out of her.
I wanted to quickly read something that sort of ties the whole thing together. It's a quote from Charlie Peacock.
Yeah.
And it says, "It's not just about creativity, it's about the person you're becoming while you're creating."
Wow.
And
Is
that's
that it's more about not the destination, it's about the journey.
That's right. Because it's like, well, what are you doing when you're, like, we're talking about core values. Well, what most of the poems really represent how people think and what they do and how they communicate. And I thought it was a really interesting link with us and what we're doing in the poetry concept. Because, well, why are you writing poetry? Some because they're just angry with the world, you know, and their core value is to make a change and turn things around. And some are just because they can see everything through a completely different point of view and want to share that point of view. It's fascinating how the creativity element...
You reminded me of Jessica, one of our poets. Jess's poetry. She wrote about technology, the love for technology. So say, for example, you are going to a restaurant, eating out, and you have the food served. Rather than starting the food, enjoying it, and talking to each other, you're taking photos of the food and busy with that and different angles because, you're worried about the Instagram algorithms.
Yeah, but she explained it in a way... She's telling the whole thing from the point of view that she's lying next to her partner. And she said, I can never compete with the algorithms while you're enthralled by the blue glow that's coming out of the square lying in your hand. And I'm thinking, oh my God.
And she mentioned about my skin and how beautiful is
rather than the soft, clean smell of my scented soap that is on my skin, you're enthralled by the algorithms that are keeping you connected.
I would love to have the text so we can read it back. Sometimes probably we should invite Jess as well to join us.
Yes. Maybe we should do a Knowing Who You Are poetry afternoon and get people to call in with poems.
We have a lot of poets among us, so it would be great. And Nikat says, I'll remember my poetic debut on Knowing Who You Are.
It is January 30th, 2022, the debut show for Nikat.
So Nikat, next time you're on stage.
Yes.
And we liked it. I mean, how beautiful is that? It's very, it's a short poem, but full of meaning. Yeah. How beautiful. She said a lot.
Like I said, it doesn't have to be geek sounding, which it's not. I'm not trying it to say in a derogatory way because, we don't all write Sacrosanct Judith.
Sacrosanct, yeah. I mean, sure. It's a big story. I'm not going to get into that. It was my poetry when I was in high school. That's how I used to learn hard words. I used to use them in my poetry, and that's how I would keep a note of that every time I would go back. So that's how I'd remember words.
Yeah.
And those are my mnemonic poetries. So Selena says, what did I miss? Went to get some food. Yeah, we had dinner in the meantime.
Yeah,
by the
we
way.
ate. Nothing happened.
Everyone, we just shared some
We just
virtual
ate.
biryani and fuchka. No, Selena, we were talking about, that's what we were talking
Core
about.
values.
That where's Selena? Because we are talking
Yeah,
about
we were
core values.
expecting you to explode the internet in the meantime, and nothing happened. So we knew something was wrong.
Because Nikat says, our value is transparency, respect, compassion. Esther said, for her is the integrity, truthfulness, honesty.
Uplifting others.
Uplifting others, being
Yeah.
in service to others, which is mine as well. I said, mine is not being harsh towards people and no anger, and also truthfulness and being honest. So what's your core value, Selena? And do you and if you can find your core value, that's when you can start solving many of your problems, because then you would feel that anything I'm facing, I'm confronted by, and if I know my core values, you know the answer to your action, what you're going to do. And Neha's one, she didn't know, she said, but we found out, kind of, and we helped her find it. It's trying to be in service to others and being helpful or caring for others. So that's really nice. So Selena, what's yours? Shampa is watching probably. What's yours? Let's see. We have people, quite a lot of people watching in the meantime. So anyone of you, whoever feels like sharing your core values with us, we can talk about it and we can find out. And if there's any struggle, to be honest, in your life that you are not able to find the answer to, once you have pinpointed your core values, that's when you made it easier for yourself. So I think on that note, oh wow, Nikat had said something interesting. Read that if you want.
I have a question for you both and other viewers. Regarding core values, it sometimes takes an individual a long time to develop their core values, especially when younger. How would they navigate situations where their core values are not reciprocated by people close to them? Well, I think for starters, the core values that you have when you're younger are not necessarily the same, because you don't have the same knowledge that you acquire through both, education and experience. And I think for me, because I was very lucky in that regard, I had two parents who very much pushed me to find my own path. It was more like, what is the purpose that you have in life? What would you like to do? Like, what do you feel that sets you on fire? Like, what makes you happy to think about? And for me, it was at the time, it was being a performing artist and being a dancer. And, I was able to be a doctor, I was able to be a teacher or have a job that would possibly make a lot more money, but they completely supported that. And then the only thing they requested of me is that I really work hard on my education and that I learn other things. So in case, and my dad was very smart, he said, in case one day ballet doesn't work for you or you have an injury or something, you have something else to fall back on. And really, they just pushed me to continue learning so I would eventually be able to figure it out by myself, which I did. And I think with young kids, especially because of the peer pressure and everything else, you can't always expect, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, it's more like, what do you in your inside feel? What makes you happy? Like, what, when you think about it, you wake up and you think, God, I really want to do that. Or when you start talking about it or thinking about it, what subject is it that makes you just... It opens your heart. It makes the sunshine. It makes you hear, music or whatever else. And I think that approach with me worked because I was able to figure it out that way. And I think it's the most real thing to speak to a kid when you're asking.
Because these days we hear about conversations around purpose, finding your purpose. This is one of the hot topic. Everyone's talking about purpose and meaning. So she said it sometimes takes an individual a long time to develop their core values. That's very true. It's also true if you look at the education system as well. Sometimes it's an example how we are asked to do something which is quite hard at a very young age. So it's rightly so. So everyone aims to become an IT expert at the age of 14. That's how you have to decide which subject you would choose. Humanities, science. Everyone wants to be a doctor. Everyone wants to be an engineer. But we never want to know, do you want to be an artist? Do you want to be a football player? Do you want to be a football coach? Or do you want to be a painter or a singer? So that's the problem. And mostly in the subcontinent, we see a lot because I think it's a thing with third world countries we want to make sure, first of all, that you have the roof over your head.
Which
So
makes
sometimes,
sense.
yeah, there's a clash of values. Even if you want something, you can't have it because practicalities or the realities of life, you need to first make sure that that's been conquered. But coming back to Nika's question, how would they navigate situations where their core values are not reciprocated by people close to them? Definitely, I think it happens all the time in our life. Even it's not for young people, I think. It's even for grown-ups like us. How many times you meet people that people are trying to antagonize you and you're being provoked, saying things, and people are attacking you personally? That's when your core values are tested. And how would you respond to it, as I was saying? But for a young person, I think role models are very important because at that time it's very vulnerable for them, and either they can go, it could be polarized to any different direction. So it's very important to have role models, I think. So for them, sometimes if you don't have anyone in person in the flesh, that's when books or history or characters in history, your idols, that's when it come in play, I think.
We have a lot of wonderful contributions.
Oh my
here.
God, I love this.
So Selena is saying core values. Be honest, wearing my heart on my sleeve. That's my nature, and some people take that for granted. I've realized a lot of people these days can't handle authentic earnestness. Being a good listener and conversationalist, people find it easy to open up to me. Hard to talk about such complex theme. Core values, I mean, yeah, I understand. And then she later says, it's hard to find your core values if you had more freedom to do anything you wanted. I was lucky my parents just let me go my way I wanted. Pros and cons though. Yeah, true. Because if you just left to your own devices, you won't necessarily figure it out. And like you say, a role model is a key thing. And then we have from Shifat. Hey Shifat, thank you for listening in. Hi, I'm Babi. I am at family Dawat in a good...
Dawat is invitation.
Okay, in a good old Whitechapel today. Nice. We'll try tuning in. Haven't had a gathering with them since 2019. Nice. Well done. And I agree, if I had a choice, I would have tried to be a singer. No. You didn't try to be. You are a singer.
Exactly.
It just doesn't happen to be your profession.
Yeah. I mean, from within spirit, you're definitely a singer, and we can hear it in your voice as well.
Yeah.
Selena's one, I would like to go back to it. Be honest, fine. Wearing my heart on my sleeve, okay. And I've realized a lot of people, I have realized a lot of people these days can't handle authentic honestness. Well, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't say any particular thing that we have found or people are like that around us. As I was saying, always, it comes down to your responses. People are people. Everyone is different.
Yeah.
But how we respond to the situation. So it's our decision. If someone I really find that who's conflicting with my core values, do I keep on persisting being around those people, or do I come off?
Yeah.
This is our choice. That's our response. Or do I constantly go back and fight back and try to prove my point? There's no point.
It's true.
You lose every time.
No, I've been in that situation too.
Yeah.
And in the end of the day, when you are the person that is open-hearted, saying exactly as it is, if you are with a person who just doesn't want that, then they're just as unhappy in this relationship or friendship or whatever it is. And the point is, don't both change. Just find friends that are like you, I suppose.
Selena said 100% agree, 100% Ershad, I agree. And Neha said true.
Yes.
So it's a lovely conversation. I'm enjoying this core value thing.
Me too.
Because
very nice.
you know what? We think that core value is just name it and you get away with this one. It's not like that. Once you're sure about that one thing even in your life, trust me, that every decision you make, it becomes easier in a sense. You know what to do straight away.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime you struggle, what shall I do? Say, for example, many people I've seen, it could be men or women both. You're trapped in a relationship. I mean, this is something on YouTube. If you open YouTube and type narcissist, you will find you'll be flooded with all this information. But there are people, you don't know what to do because either you're caring for this person too much, or either you're attached to that person too much, either you're scared of being lonely, either you don't want to be alone. And you're getting stuck in one relationship, even though you know it's toxic. But what is your core value? What you want out of your life? The moment you know, even you know how to find the right person, or where your right person be, where would that person, where to look for that person, or how to. Because sometimes this is something I feel very important. People need to think that when we think about, oh, where's my right person? Say, probably at some point in my life, I had the question, you probably had that question. It comes down to one thing: whether I am preparing myself to be the right person, rather than thinking if he's right or she's right. What about myself? And when I'm talking, am I always talking about, I'm ready, I've done, okay, what have you done? So we have to stop judging others. The moment we start judging us, okay, where we are we better, getting better, or getting better than yesterday? That's the moment you know that you're preparing, you're getting there. And that's when you feel that it's getting easier for you. And the right person, whoever that is, it's a boy or a girl, that person will come running to you, I guess.
May I just read something?
Yeah.
It's a nice poem actually about core values, which is from Herbert Hagel. In your inner core resides a pool of values and virtues you use in your world. This is your compass to do good, follow your inner rules, and be happy. Your inner core easily wears a mask to allow your world to set your world. When you lose your compass, you do not choose your ending. In your soul, you find a sight. Know the only directions you need to take. The center calls you to the light. Your inner core knows when you arrive. During your journey in the sight, your inner core will reveal its true self. Now your actions will always align, like the story of your life will truly unfold.
True.
I thought that was interesting because I was
Yeah.
actually reading about.
Can you
that
mention the
yesterday.
name again for the benefit of the listeners and the
Yes,
audience?
absolutely. Herbert Hagel,
Okay, and the name?
and it's called "In Your Inner Core."
In Your Inner Core.
It's a
Beautiful
poem,
poetry.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no problem.
And Selena, this is something I'm really thinking about these days, properly to go with similar values. Exactly.
Yeah.
The moment you find that you're in line with the value of the other person, or the other person is in line with your value, that's when you say that the right person, and there's no effort in it.
Yeah.
And you'll find the moment you have to make so much effort in a relationship as well, that's when you know that, okay, probably it's not right. There's a struggle of values. So the moment you feel that there's no struggle, it means that the values have aligned and you found the right person, as we call it.
Yeah.
And okay, and Selena said, I really wanted to call, but now I don't know exactly.
It's
Very
okay.
logical.
It's all right. You can stay a listener or you can call, either way.
You
But
can.
Let's continue the conversation and see what happens.
Yeah. Because core values is an interesting
Yeah,
topic.
it is actually.
And Shifat says she's gonna call us back. What did she say?
Huh?
Shifat?
No. She said she was with someone.
Okay.
Yes, no, she's with family. So,
Okay.
but she's gonna try tuning in. But she agreed. This is where she said, if I had the choice, I would try to be a singer.
From singing point of view, I want to share a story. Nikat was there. So Nikat, if you're listening, Selena was there, Neha was
so
there.
emotional.
Selena's there. She's calling.
Here we are. Selena, hello.
Hi, I gave into my thing and just thought, let me just call because it's quicker. I think I was saying yesterday about this book that I am reading at the moment, and I wanted to let everybody else know.
Yeah.
About it. Conversations on Love by Natasha Lunn. That's with double N, and it's about lovers, strangers, parents, friends, endings, beginnings. And there were these bits that I've just been highlighting. I've been reading all day. I think it connects to what we were discussing.
Oh, please read.
Yeah,
it.
go ahead.
Yeah, so she goes, for a long time, I assumed love was a source of my unhappiness. So obviously I'm not going to read everything. I'm going to read the bits that I highlighted.
Yeah.
Why could I walk away from a job I was unhappy with, but not from a bad relationship? Why did I have agency in every other aspect of my life and not in love? Why did I assume marriage would be the end of something and not the beginning? Okay, and then she goes, while I was having these conversations with, I think, psychologists and other writers, love was leaking in and out of my life too. Okay, and until I started trying to conceive after a miscarriage, that I began to see how much more I had to learn. Because although I thought I'd outgrown my propensity towards longing, there were many similarities between my longing for a baby in my 30s and my longing for a boyfriend the decade before. Both made me more focused on the love I didn't have rather than the love I did.
So
Both
nice.
made me compare myself to others and feel like there was an area of happiness in life I was excluded from. Okay, the thing I was longing for had changed, but the restless, searching feelings were the same. I understood then there would always be something to long for in love if I continued to see it in this narrow way: a boyfriend, a marriage, a baby, a second baby, a grandchild, another decade on this earth with my mother, father, or husband. Maybe
Wow.
you are looking for a relationship or in a secret place in your heart, asking whether you should leave one. Maybe you are in a long term partnership, wondering how to sustain love through life's many storms. And yeah, she's had these conversations with all these people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, yeah, this part's funny. Despite the lack of attention it gets, contrast the number of pages a newspaper devotes to politics or finance or travel compared to relationships. There are few things more serious, more important than love. A lack of it can cause so much damage. A wealth of it can heal us.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yes, the way she's written. Okay, here's another of it. My pattern was often the same. I date someone new, idealize them, keep parts of myself hidden, and perform the role of a woman more palatable than I believed myself to be.
Mm. Beautiful.
It was out of sync. So she also found like relationships to be out of sync. Let's see. Moving through the motions of intimacy with this dread pulling at the back of my mind was an anxious state to exist in. Always suspecting that a person did not want to be with me, but being too afraid to ask. Oh, okay, this way. It also meant I.
No, I mean, so
mistook
far what you have read, it's so. I mean, I think everyone can relate to that. The
poignant,
struggle
and
we
it's
go
just
through.
yeah, and the way she's just she hasn't like faffled on. She's kind of just got to the point. It also meant I mistook instability for attraction, because the scraps of affection men tossed me were more thrilling for their inconsistency. So obviously, if someone's not giving, if there's no consistency, then you're going to be craving for it, isn't it?
Yeah,
So the little
definitely.
things you're
There's
just going
always
to
a
be like,
gap.
yeah, hungry for them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, more consistent than any affection was a careless, perhaps unintentional cruelty that I silently accepted and used as further proof that I was unlovable. I think she's married now, but she's obviously written this book.
No, it's all come down to that thing that what we are talking about in a sense that in a relationship especially, because we start projecting the ideas of other people, thinking this is what ought to be, but what we are, we tend to forget. So this is where discovering your core values, or at least know what your core values are, that helps. Like Nikat's example was, she had been through some trouble, but she had taken the decision. She definitely, it's not that she didn't know that there will be some trouble, but she had been through it and she had accepted it. Okay, it's a little harder initially, but then you make it clear to everyone, look, this is what I am, and this is what I can accept, this is what I cannot. So that's where it's a segue to Nikat's point, what she had written, that we are responsible for setting our own boundaries. Oh my God, this is such an important thing. Because yeah.
I think in some ways it's easier said than done, because obviously there are people who are like queens of setting their own boundaries and they just wouldn't stand for any nonsense. While other people, like let's say it's been happening like, I don't know, all your life, if people are stepping over your boundaries, then they kind of,
I mean, if you
like,
start
it's
like that,
easier,
our childhood has a role to play, definitely. I mean, how we've been treated, what kind of caring environment we had around us. And sometimes we feel like we end up being a people pleaser. And then you feel there's no boundary, whatever, every time you say yes to everything. So the skill to be able to say no is a very valuable skill as well. Like, this is what I can accept, this is I won't accept. So in a relationship as well, to be honest with you, like Esther and myself, initially when we met, we had certain conversations back and forth, but not in a direct way. Look, this is what I am, this is what I want. Not like that, but
Yeah.
like normal conversations. What is your idea? What she was saying, that, what is your idea about argument, which I asked her, because I heard this so many times, especially in the subcontinent or even in our community. It's very acceptable. Oh, husband and wife, they would fight and it's fine. They become normal again. But when you fight, you are allowed to do whatever. Even sometimes people end up hitting each other and say, bad words and call each other names. And they say, it happens and you'll get back to normal. But it's not acceptable at all. And we made clear that none of us are in that mindset. And she said, no. And I was like, okay, box ticked. So this is how you have this conversation. It's very important. And say, for example, when people go out on a date, most of the time, they sit there and talk about things which is not related at all, which is not what they want out of each other. They talk about things just, small talks.
Shallow things. Basically.
Shallow things.
Yeah.
But important thing is going down the road, you found something that is totally not aligned because you haven't talked about this and you find it so hard. I think even say, for example, the physical intimacy part of things. Say, for example, in a relationship, that's part of a relationship, but people won't talk about it. Because they feel, oh my God, if I talk about this, the man would think, oh my God, she would think that I'm really a perv. Or the woman would think, or she would think I'm so needy. But the thing is...
You know what? I think that's a really interesting topic, but us talking about it. So obviously, if a guy or a woman is talking about their intimacy stuff in a very perverted, leering way, you can probably tell that that's the only
Yeah.
But if you you're both adults, and if you're saying it with sensitivity and kind of openness, but not veering towards disgustingness, then I think it's an okay conversation to have. And
sure,
funnily enough, there's a tribe, I think, in Rwanda, and my sister was telling me, this is crazy, but they very openly talk about physical aspects about a newly married couple, and how they kind of concentrate on the female satisfaction, I guess, in a whole kind of community in a house, in a village.
Wow.
I was like, that is so interesting. And here in the West, we think so many things about Africa and the whole continent, and how it's all kind of closed-minded and stuff, all these prejudice. But actually, going back, it's the Victorian times that were all very uppity, and no, we won't talk about this.
Oh yeah.
Do you see?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because we have that in our household normally in Asian households. This is how people grow up, and even grown-up people. They say it's a taboo subject, fine, but then what happens? They do everything behind closed doors, and even say beyond their relationship, sometimes why do you have all these extramarital affairs and everything? You see them very happy on social media with the family, children.
Yeah.
People will hate me for saying this, but then they have another parallel story going on while they're married. And then they're saying, probably, I'm really happy. I have a nice family. So again, coming down to the core values, probably they have totally lost. And
Probably,
they
because
forgot.
maybe there might be something missing from their actual marriage that they can't talk about because they've never talked about it before.
Yeah.
Or they're inherently polygamists, and I think we were discussing this in another time.
Yeah.
Where you can't really change, isn't polygamist. So if a polygamist marries a monogamist, then that's not really a match made in heaven.
No.
Now this is why this open conversation, and as you said, very rightly pointed out, that from the pattern of the conversation, you can judge where the person is going. I mean, I know people, and even women as well, who really had done things that they regret now because they didn't really get that person initially. And initially they thought, okay, this is out of love. I want to do everything for this person. And ended up doing things and they totally regret now. So they're close friends. I heard from them and I feel sorry for them. But they, thankfully enough, many of them turned it around and they understood their mistakes because they're failures in life. We can't avoid that. But main thing is to learn from that.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you're back to core values, where if you go back to what do I really want and sort that out, it does normally also resolve it for the other person.
Yeah.
And both people will be in better shape as a result of it as well.
Because the dividend of your failure would be the experiences. So that's the good thing you can get out of your failure rather than always remain ashamed of what I have done. So good point.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have a lot of messages coming in.
I just wanted to add this one couple of last bits.
Please.
And it goes here about relationships again. Obviously, the whole book of it is about relationships. She goes, you're pretending you don't need relationship labels or consistent communication or the small acts of kindness that make you feel loved. You're pretending you don't need anything at all. And I know lots of people who basically make themselves small to kind of keep the relationship because, they just like it's like you're not being true to yourself.
Yeah.
then
And
you
funny
just
that you
become
say
smaller and
that,
smaller.
because Nikat is actually saying a message to you while you were talking. She said, Selena, even people who are good at setting boundaries falter sometimes. What's important is being true to yourself and listening to your inner voice.
True.
You know, it's exactly what you're saying, and it's exactly what she was saying.
Because I was saying, people
yeah.
will be people.
Yeah.
You can't change people,
No.
but you have all the control over your responses and yourself.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
important part.
Yeah.
Because we talk about, we can keep on talking about every time, say, that person has done this to me, that person is this, and you talk about probably your neighbor or someone in the family. But what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing about this?
Yeah.
How am I protecting myself from all those harmful negativity around me?
Yeah.
So that's my responsibility. So if you don't take care of yourself, no one would. Because they want what they want for themselves, and good for them, they know what they want. But problem is, we don't know what we want, so that's why we can't help ourselves. That's the sad part. So the sooner we wake up, the better. So thank you, Selena.
Thank you.
Nice
And I
talking
highly
to you.
recommend this book.
Please, can you put
the
down the
text.
name?
Put the name of the
I mean,
author and the text
Yeah.
in the message.
I'm preparing a list of books, and I think we'll start, as I was saying, we'll start talking about the text and chapters and about certain books. So this is the idea.
And plus, if we do a book club, sometimes there are author events, as I'm going to see this lady on Wednesday in Waterstones, Piccadilly, if anyone's interested.
Great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so when you are part of a book club or something like that, or interested in books, the authors do come, and you can
Great.
meet them and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Exciting.
And
Thank
have
you for
signings.
that. That's
Thank
really
you.
good information.
No worries.
All right,
Thank
Selena,
you.
thank you for calling. And again, it was lovely to meet you yesterday, properly.
Likewise.
All right then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice.
Nikat, very nice point. I would reiterate again what she said is nice. What is important is being true to yourself.
Yeah.
Being true to yourself and
Yeah.
listening to your inner voice. Please do that. Anyone who thinks that, okay, because we end up judging other people when we can't be true to ourselves, and when we can't hear the inner voice,
Yeah.
and when we don't know, okay, and you're confused about the core values as we were talking about, that's when we think, why he didn't do it like this,
Yeah.
why she didn't love me the way I wanted. And every time we start finding fault with others, why
Very
we
easy.
we are
Very
in the-
easy to do.
that's the easiest thing.
Very easy.
And that's one of the cheapest way of causing trouble or creating some kind of trouble all the time, trying to be the center of attraction in a sense that when you say that that's what happened in my life and this is what happened, so you creating problems in a way so you can get more attention towards you. This is one of the cheapest ways of doing so.
Yeah. Very.
I'm really enjoying this a truly dialogic. Okay,
Oh,
thank you,
good.
Nikat.
Nice.
This is, I know Nikat likes conversations like that anyway, because she's a thoughtful person, so is Selena.
That's
And
great.
everyone, we are so blessed to have these people around us.
Yeah.
We learn from them too.
Now, you were going to tell a story about last night,
Which one?
about when you were in the restaurant.
Okay, so what happened? There was music going on. Nikat was there, and it was what was the song? Bhalo Bashbo Bashbore by Habib Wahid. So I know the song, but I don't know the lyrics by heart. So she said, Ershad, sing that a little bit. Nikat asked me. So I didn't do that. I tried a little bit. I said, Nikat, I don't know. So she said, oh, how come you don't know that? It's very popular among the younger generation of people who are growing up in England. But then Ishita was there, Ishita Azad, who's the director of BBPC. She said, Ershad, you should sing something. So I sing one of my favorite ghazals from Umrao Jan, Zindagi Jab Bhi. So it was sung by Talat Aziz, one of my favorite songs. So I sang that, and this is something I want to share as well. I was telling Esther as well. Back in the years, a couple of years back, if someone asked me to do something in a setting, say it's a restaurant where people from different background, different cultures are sitting, someone asked me to sing a song, and I wouldn't feel, I would say, no, I won't sing, I won't do that. This is not the environment. I would think about those things. But yesterday, I just sang out loud.
Maybe you should sing what you sang yesterday to give people the idea of what they heard.
Okay, I'll do that. Thanks for the idea. But I'm going to sing that song so you'll know what we're talking about.
Yes.
So there was one of the poets who was sitting with her mom after the event, because it was downstairs. It was on the basement level or the ground level. That restaurant is. It's Charista. So I started singing the song. After I finished, everyone went quiet. And what did she say? The mother of the poet?
The mother said she came over. It was beautiful. She basically said that, you know, when she was getting ready to leave for the evening, she was putting on her coat, and from the coat fell the little red poppy, which the last time, you know, she had put it on was back in remembrance in November of the previous year. And her husband said to her, "My goodness me, does that mean you've not worn this coat since last year?" And she realized that she hadn't actually been out since last year. And she said she had a wonderful evening, but the song that you sang topped the evening and made it absolutely perfect.
No, this proved the point that everything that I want to do in my life, even my music now, I feel that if I can do something and bring that joy in someone's life, that is more valuable. It makes it all worthwhile. And to be honest, that's how I started doing music. It's not just to show girls that I play guitar. It's more about that I enjoy the music. But now I do it more for others as well. So let's sing a few lines. Okay. I hope everyone can hear me. If you can, please let me know. So that's how it goes. Zindagi jabhi tere bazm mein लाती है हमें ये ज़मीं चांद से बेहतर नजर आती है हमें जिंदगी जब भी सुर्ख फूलों सी महक उठती हैं दिल की राहें सुर्ख फूलों सी महक उठती हैं दिल की राहें दिन ढले यूं तेरी आवाज बुलाती है हमें जिंदगी जब भी तेरी बज़्म में याद तेरी कभी दस्तक कभी सरगोशी से रात के पग पिछले पहर रोज जगाती है हमें रात के पिछले पहर रोज जगाती है हमें जिंदगी जब भी हर मुलाकात का अंजाम जुदाई क्यों है हर मुलाकात का अंजाम जुदाई क्यों है अब तो हर वक्त यही बात सताती है हमें जिंदगी जब भी तेरी बज़्म में लाती है हमें Thank you.
You got a lovely comment here from Mazrek Reza. Wow, love you, Paya. Your voice is still so young, like we used to listen to you when you were around us here in Bangladesh.
Mashrik is one of my students when I was at the uni.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's a very established IT guy now in Bangladesh, in a very good position
Nice.
at his work. So, I mean, yeah. They were a group of 4 friends who used to come to me, and we had so much fun because he used to copy me. Because I used to talk to them in a language in Bangla, in proper Bangla. I would say, Mashrik, kalker kajta korecho? Homework ta thik kore korecho? কোথায় প্রবলেম কি হয়েছে একটু দেখি so he would make fun of me he would repeat after me sometimes in a tongue-in-cheek way that he's like okay you're being too pure so yeah I love Mashrek and all the
Great
other
he's
friends
listening.
yeah
Wonderful that he's listening.
thank you Mashrek I'm very close to my heart these people
Aw.
Selena Ray, I assume most people understand Urdu here. I get some words and the sentiment, not fluent. The mulaqat part was heartbreaking. Yeah. Har mulaqat ka anjam. Anjam means what's the final destination. Why it ends up in a breakup. That's what it's talking about. So thank you, Selena. Thank you, Mashrek. Thank you, Neha. And thank you, Esther. So, yeah, we still have 15-20 minutes to go. And amazing time I always spend with people, whoever is watching and everyone. And the Knowing Who You Are, the channel, everyone who hasn't yet, they haven't subscribed to it. I would suggest and I would request if you can subscribe so we can find more ways to understand what kind of content you want. Because this channel itself, we have created this one for you so you can learn from it and there are things we can share through the experts and through their shared wisdom that what would help for you and the struggles we go through. We can find a solution for that rather than struggling in loneliness and in isolation.
And in the next few days, the other thing that you'll see on the actual channel is that, so you have the live shows, which we're doing. Then there is all the different interviews that you've done with professionals. We decided, because making memories, like what is the most valuable thing that you can give another person, and that is your time. And we really truly believe, like at least once a month we go out and we do something special, something adventurous, and we make a video out of it, which you can then share.
I think, our Knowing Who You Are club should start soon where we meet up, do these catch-up sessions.
Exactly.
Let's start doing it. I mean, like last evening what we had.
Yeah, that's
I think
one of
something,
them.
that's one of them.
And then there's going to be a whole additional set of videos with just poetry, which is poems read out by yourself and myself, which again follow the same message as Knowing Who You Are. So in the next few days, we've got all the videos ready. It just takes a while to upload, in which we've got a lot going on. So it just
down
needs
to my own, not laziness, but there are so many things that keeping
it's
time. Exactly.
You are not lazy. Oh God.
Mashrek says, Bhaiya apnar mone ache. He's saying that, oh my God, you remember that.
Oh, good.
Love you, Bhaiya. Wish you both stay happy always. Thank you, Mashrek.
Thank you.
I definitely do remember what you used to do. And every time you do, I would ignore. I said, I didn't even see that. But I would know what he's trying to do. He's being cheeky.
He knew all the time.
And Nikat says, Selena, translation of the song.
Oh, nice.
Nay, not
Very
fully
nice.
conveyed, but we'll give you a general. Oh,
Thank
wow.
you, Nikat.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Nikat. And Nikat said that she listens to a lot of Urdu ghazals as well. So she tries to follow Urdu poets, Urdu poetry. One of my favorites as well. And we have one of our friends, Yusuf.
Yeah.
He recites Urdu poetry so much. And he has a
Amazing.
channel as well.
Booming, deep
It's
voice.
Urdu voice, right?
Urdu voice.
Urdu voice.
Yeah.
So he does it from London, and it's quite it's growing. The channel is really growing quite rapidly.
yeah.
So you can follow that on YouTube. And Yusuf, we are giving you a shout out.
Yay.
Yeah. So we probably Knowing Who You Are, I'm going to bring him because he had fought with cancer recently, which he won. COVID twice.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
That's what he won as well. And he has become quite careful about his own health and very responsible towards it. And he looks great.
Yeah, he does.
So I wanted to talk to him what his experience had been and how he overcame all those time of struggle. This is very important.
And what was really beautiful, actually, which has also inspired us to do the interview with him, is that at the end of all this, you can imagine, like his viewpoint on life had changed a lot. And his values as to what he was going to spend time on, what he was going to do with his life had become so much more stronger than before. So let's have a look what Mashrek is saying. Paya, how about your younger brother? Where is he now? He's in England too. He was also my art teacher. We four, Wahid, Rana, Nafiz, learned first guitar from your younger brother. If you could remember, though, it's passed around 22 years. That's amazing.
Oh my God, I didn't know. Really? That happened? I mean,
Really?
you started taking
Taneem.
lessons from my younger brother. That's
That's
good.
cool.
I didn't know. Wow. Whether it happened, yeah, probably in the in the house. I don't know. I
Yeah,
totally
like
forgot.
a double Alamgir whammy education.
Yeah. Music and English. So, yeah, Wahid, Rana, Nafiz, and Mashrik. Big
Nice.
shout out to you all.
Lovely.
My lovely students. And Selina, did you learn Urdu or is something that you automatically understand in Bangladesh? No.
Let me tell you, it's another thing that you learned.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Hindi is something that everyone learns in Bangladesh quite easily, but Urdu and Hindi is similar, but not that similar. Urdu is more sophisticated, I would say, because it's Persian. I think that's the origin. So you need to understand that properly, and even the pronunciation is very important as well. Because when I started performing Urdu ghazals in Pakistani community as well, I came to I came to find people where they started appreciating me, saying that you pronounce Urdu sometimes better than some people in Pakistan. I mean,
Wow.
this is the same thing also in Bangla. Some people, Bengali people, just because you are Bangladeshi, it's not necessarily true that you can speak proper Bangla. So it can happen.
Wow.
But I had been very fortunate to be around people, some friends I have here. I would literally sometimes words, if I would struggle, or some poetry, I wouldn't understand because of certain words. Vocabulary wise, I had to work on it. So I would start asking them. Then I got dictionary. And to understand the dictionary, because it's Urdu to English, I started learning Urdu. So how to write Urdu and how to, well, speaking wise, I do it. But yeah, still, it's a work in progress. But whatever I sing, a new song I learn, I make sure I pronounce it properly and I know every meaning. I just don't sing it, by rote, because unless you understand the meaning of it, you can't give the emotions to
No,
a
it's
song.
true.
Whether
It's
it's
very true.
English, Bengali, Urdu, or any other language,
Yeah,
to be honest.
very true. And I find it very interesting, having done and attended and also run a lot of events where there was specifically Pakistani events, like cultural events, with my previous jobs. It was fascinating to me. I'd never experienced this before, where when you have a poet who reads something out in front of a Pakistani audience, they all know it. They've grown up with it. It's part of their genetic everything. And if you say something not quite the way it is, they just shout it out how it should be as well. And what they do, which I think is very charming, is that the poet will say a line, and then the whole audience will repeat it back. And then the poet will say the next line. There is something. And
It's
it
very
was amazing,
interesting, the
amazing.
distinction in terms of the appreciation of
Oh, my
poetry
goodness
in
me.
Bangladesh, in Pakistan is totally different.
Right.
In Bangladesh, when you're reading poetry, it's a somber environment. Everyone listens. It's a pin drop silence. No one says anything. At the end of it, you get round of applause.
Yeah.
But in Urdu poetry, even if you go on YouTube, you watch some Urdu poetry, just
Yeah.
type it live.
Yeah.
Before someone can say a line, finish it, everyone because they know the poetry already, they would finish the line for them.
Yeah.
They would repeat again, and everyone would start screaming. And they wait for the
amazing.
punchline.
Yeah.
And when it comes, everyone is like, wow, 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 wow. And,
Yeah.
It's a very lively environment.
It's great. It's so nice.
But it's totally like you are in a live music concert.
It is, yeah.
And they have the tradition that they are poets. They sing as well, whether they can sing or not, in tune or not, they don't care. They try to compose the tune of their own poetry.
Wow.
So that's how ghazals came. So the ghazals I sing, what ghazals, they're like poetries when you tune them, and then when you put music in poetry, that's what turns it into a ghazal.
Yeah.
So even the song I just sang, it's a ghazal too.
Right. It's beautiful.
So
Wow, what a full cultural round circle here.
yeah,
All inspired by the poetic night last night.
yeah, and a lot of things, even
Yeah.
lived experiences,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
things
yeah,
we
yeah.
talked about.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Like how Selena brought up about the experiences, what she learned about Rwanda, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
And this is something, and that reminds me of Jahangir, one of the BBPC his poetry, where he was talking about that how we don't talk openly about our personal life in our family, and especially sexuality is one of the topic. Everyone is like,
Oh,
okay, so that's why people don't end up getting the lessons.
Yeah.
What
They
they
learn it
should
the hard way.
Yeah, they learn it the hard way through failures and of
Yeah.
struggle or through other ways.
Yeah.
But main thing is that when they don't get to learn it from their parents, because
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
for a long time, I knew that in Chittagong there's a mall that was the biggest mall at the time. It's still there, but not that not that not that popular, I would say. I don't see that many people going there. It's New Market. So there was, on the second or third floor, there was a shop where they used to sell all chemical solutions. It was a laboratory shop.
Wow.
So where they had some babies in jars. Yeah, literally. Yeah. I think it's for experiment that you can take them. I don't know. I mean, what was the deal with that? I was so young.
Oh my God.
My mom told me for a long time, every time we would pass by, that I bought you from this shop. So I would just go, every time we were in New Market in Chittagong, I would just drag my mom. I said, I want to go buy that shop because I wanted to see my other brothers and sisters who are in a jar. Because
that's so sweet. Oh God, it makes me want to cry.
So I'm just telling you, this is so many.
Came from a little pot.
Yeah. And interestingly, so this
Did
is
you keep the receipt?
for a long time, up until my high school. I used to think that you have to buy the children in a jar or in a pot, because we grew up in an innocent age where there's no internet, no YouTube. So this is what I believed until
God.
the whole world was exposed to me, and
Oh
I came
my
to know
God.
the secrets of life.
Oh my God. You know how for me it was all very different. My mum actually had a book with photographs
Oh,
of
God.
exactly
The
the
opposite.
human body and exactly what happens and how children come about. And when I was about 7 or 8, she took me through the whole thing and made me understand. I thought, well, that's gross. But very good that she did.
So they're saying it's for
Okay.
medical studies. They sell it for the medical university.
My God.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that
Yeah.
makes more sense. It's still brutal, but my goodness me.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
because
you came from a pot.
yeah, Selena, you can see these babies in jars in Johnson Museum, if I remember correctly.
Oh, it's
Yes.
like the stork bringing babies. Yeah, that's the other story. Like it comes with the stork.
Ah,
My goodness me.
what's the story?
Huh? Well, no, it's just that overnight the stork comes in and flies
Ah.
and holds a little baby and just drops off, the baby.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to think, and my mom used to threaten me every time I wouldn't listen to her. So, do you want me to take you back to that shop again? They will just put you back in the jar.
No. Oh, no. I can't handle this.
Oh.
I can't handle this.
It's okay, I'm still
terrible.
alive. I'm not in a jar.
You're
I'm
not
in my
going- you're not
studio
going back in a box.
getting hug from Esther. So, Suhana says hi from Texas.
Hey.
Hi, Suhana. Hello, Suhana. And you can call us, by the way. We haven't spoken to you. The number is there on screen. Pick up the WhatsApp pick up your phone and dial through WhatsApp. Mashreq says, Bhaiya, do you remember the famous music shop Records in Medibag? It's no more. Bhaiya, shop is being closed 2 years back. Mustafiz Bhai has left that shop after his father died.
Oh, wow.
Esther and we went last year in July, we were in Chittagong. Especially, that's the shop I wanted to show her.
Yeah.
We passed by. I don't know if it says Records anymore. I don't think it does. But it's like a cafe, right? A few chairs and tables. And I was heartbroken. Because the story of that shop is Records. Back in the days, again, no internet initially. No Spotify, no iTunes, no YouTube. So we had to wait for say we would make mixtapes or albums. We go choose, and totally sometimes either you know your songs through magazines or you don't know. And randomly they would say, this is a good song, that's a good song. They would suggest, and I would say, okay, yeah, put it there. And you have one TDK, it's a brand, Japanese brand,
Yeah.
60 minutes or 90 minutes. 60 minutes, there are a number of songs. 90 minutes, you have a number of songs. Then I have chosen, I prepared my list. I went in there. Some songs they have, some they don't have. And after that, there's some filler songs. I said, so you need 6 more songs to fill it up, the tape. I said, I don't know. I don't have any songs in my list. Okay, let me take care of that. Mustafiz Bhai, the guy he's talking about. So, but we used to wait for a month sometimes. I used to just look forward to that day when I would go and pick up my tape and
Wow.
bring it home,
Wow.
listen to it over and over. This is
Wow.
how we used to remember all the songs.
Wow.
Nowadays, you don't even listen to a song for 10 seconds properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Esther, how did you cope with the heat?
Oh, in Bangladesh. Oh, well, I mean, half of me didn't and half of me did. I was very lucky that we actually arrived when the monsoon season had started. So the first few days was very, it was very acceptable. And we had thunderstorms and tropical rainstorms, and it was absolutely amazing. And it was actually only in the last week when it went to 40, 42, 43 degrees. And honestly, we coped because we were in his parents' place, which has, it had the AC, it had fans, and we were obviously dressed super light. I basically went with a bag of clothes that I pretty much mostly didn't wear, and just bought new things over there, which were actually just the proper thin material that made me survive. But yeah, we just drank plenty of water. I had my electrolytes with me that we drank every single day. But the beauty of waking up, the waking up in the morning when the sun was coming up and the rain was pouring down, and we're lying in bed with the windows completely open and the fresh air of the rain coming in. He had explained it to me so many times what it felt like, and to be able to be part of that and experience that was magical, absolutely magical.
I mean, that's what used to make me nostalgic every now and then. There's a phone call.
Oh, we have a call. And we missed it. Sorry, whoever you were, caller, please call back again. We missed you. We're going to call you back.
No,
001. Ah, good.
So we are calling back. I think it's Sohana. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sohana. Thank you for calling.
Hey, how are you? How are you guys doing?
We're good.
We're
Alive
good.
and kicking.
Are you sleeping or you're up? What's happening?
I'm at work.
Okay.
I usually work, so.
Okay. Probably. Or you probably, did you fall asleep or what happened? You sound like you're very sleepy.
No, I'm not sleeping. I just went home at lunchtime. I took a shower. I ate and come back.
Oh, nice.
Probably the lunch.
Nice.
Right?
Very nice.
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes away from my work.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Spoiled. Totally spoiled. 1 hour lunch break?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
I eat Bengali food as usual. Mom,
That's why you're sleepy.
food for me.
We call it bhadkum.
Khartoum, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have to go meet Indian actors, so I have to get ready while I'm at work, like before.
So that's why. So what are you doing now? You are preparing for your new song or something?
No, like now, the new song, it's coming up, it's party song. It's gonna be love, but party song.
Mm.
And, one of the, he lives in Pakistan, the Zain Khan, he's the singer. He's a producer as well, so he's doing my song.
Can we do a little bit of party if you remember that song, or if you can sing a few lines for us? We can have the premiere now.
It's not out yet, so I can.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
That's fine. So do
Understood.
another party song, which is already out, or it's a cover song, anything in Bengali or any other.
No, not Bengali, but it's gonna be Hindi.
Yeah, do
Yes,
it.
yes.
It's Hindi.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Very, very melodious, and it can be like it can be run in the DJ in the clubs night.
Mm.
Okay, we'll be doing like this. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. What?
Sing the song.
Oh, no, it's. I can't.
Why?
Are you driving at the moment? Are you?
No,
are
she's
you?
not driving.
No. Okay.
No, the song is not came. I did not. It's not done yet, so I cannot.
No, any other song. I'm saying any other song.
Oh, any other song? Like,
Yeah.
What kind of song?
You have a great voice. She's got
Yeah.
a lovely voice.
Very
Nice.
sultry.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I just won a first runners-up award from International Indian 3 Icon.
Wow. Congrats.
So I believe thank you. I believe I already sang those 2 songs previous show, your previous show.
Let's see.
Okay. Let me hear this. Let me sing this song. Okay. अब
जैसा कोई मेरी जिंदगी में आए तो बात बन जाए आहा बात बन जाए फूल को बाहर बाहर को चमन दिल से दिल बदन को बदन हर किसी को चाहिए तन मन का मिलन काश अब तक मुझे दिल आपको भी आए ओ बात बन जाए आहा बात बन जाए. So this one, the second.
Oh my God!
beautiful.
You know what happened in
I'm
the
like,
meantime?
I've got goosebumps.
And she was showing me that. Esther was like, "Oh my gosh, she's giving me goosebumps."
Wow.
Thank you guys, thank you.
Great. See, that's the success of a good singer.
Yes.
So we have to. Everyone should follow. That's Suhana, and Suhana's new song is coming out. I hope everyone who's watching, when you start sharing it, they would listen to it as well.
This is nice. You have the photo on your WhatsApp is you holding a trophy and a medal. Is this the trophy you're talking about? The award?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, first runners up from top 3. So there was a winner, first runners up, and second runners up. So
Wow.
I did my theme song, and the 2 guys are Jatin Lalit
Wow.
and Jatin Pandit and Arko.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Great.
Really, congratulations.
You're doing some great jobs, Suhana. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well,
And
we-
how's life?
What's
How's your
new?
Sunday?
Sunday is good. So it's, yeah, I'm just off within 2 hours, and then I'm running to meet Abhay Devo.
Oh, wow. Wow, you know, the celebrities here, and we just talk to them, and they have their stories, their life, these glorious things happening. Oh, God.
It's really nice.
From childhood, I'm like all Bollywood. Bollywood celebrities. I love Bollywood celebrities.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
that's really nice. And
really
you are a
wonderful.
very good dancer. You're a singer. And have you done modeling as well?
Yes, I did fashion show,
Yeah.
modeling, no, but fashion show. Yeah.
Nice. Wonderful. Aesthetics. We love the aesthetics.
And what's your, apart from that song, what's new and anything? Because we have talked about on this show today, you missed probably, core values of our life. So let me ask you the question. Suhana, what's your core value in life that guides you in everything that you do?
Like my main focus to help people, and to create an identity of myself. Like before I believe I had a lot of talent. I know that, but I
Good,
didn't know
confident.
like what I want from my life. Like what is my goal? What I'm looking, what I want. I didn't know. So after my second divorce, like I really get hard. Like it was like heartbroken for me. So, and it opens my eyes. Like I feel like when people comes to your life,
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason why they come to your life. Someone comes to give you a lesson. Some to experience. So I think he gave me a lessons. A huge lessons to find out myself, how to love myself, how to focus, and I'm more focused. So I know that's in a negative way. I mean, I went through so hardship, but I took it as a positive. Like he actually opened my eyes. I mean, God, sent some people for something good. So now I'm so focused. I can visualize things and start happening. Like whatever I'm visualizing, whatever I'm feeling like to do it, and it happening. I mean, I
So nice.
understand now how beautiful is this, like so everything is start happening since I divorced him, and I'm actually, if I go and I went to Chicago, I said I'm gonna get the golden badge, and you know what?
Oh.
I get the golden badge at the first song when I did the song.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
So this is what we are talking about. Every now and then we say that when you prepare yourself, rather than looking for the right thing, things start coming to you, and you're an example. What you're just sharing.
Like you don't ask for the result. You just do it for yourself.
True.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a grieving period, right?
Yeah.
When it happens. So for you, how long did it last, or how did you overcome?
Like are you asking for now or
No, when it
previously?
happened, say when you got divorced, and after that, what you felt like. Definitely, there are a period when you're grieving, you can't accept it, and you're going back and forth, thinking whether it was right or
Yes.
not. It was wrong decision probably, and then you know I'm right, then I'm happy or I'm unhappy, feeling lonely. So that grieving period, how long did it last for you, and how did you overcome to find yourself where you are now?
Okay, I have to go back. So it was 2 years that I was in a relationship, and within 2 years, I was up and down, up and down. What should I do? Should I get out of the relationship because it's a narcissist relationship? So it was like hard for me to get out of it, but I am strong inside. So within 2 years, I get out of it, and I gave him divorce. And right after, I was like, cope with it. Like right away start dancing, trying to, find people, like trying to connect people, like talking to people, like right and left, right and left. So I don't feel myself like I was getting so busy, and I was writing down every single thing what I want from life, how I
Beautiful,
can do it.
beautiful.
It's like my brain. I was brainstorming. We said, and yeah, of course, I get back with my Bengali community, start talking to friends, and it takes me probably let's say 1 year
It took you 1 year, okay?
Makes
to
sense.
to overcome. But I'm still healing. I'm not healed properly yet,
True.
100%, because I cannot, like, when I go for date, I try to date because some of my friends said, oh, go for date and then you will, find us. Like, I feel like I don't need any guys. I love myself. I mean,
Nice.
I'm spending time with myself. I don't like
Empowered.
anyone. I don't need anyone.
Good.
That is
So nice,
awesome.
Suhana.
Really nice. And really good advice, because we've had a lot of people who've called in, and obviously we know that everyone has shared experiences, but to put it in a way that you learned from the negative experience, that is, I couldn't ask for a better description of how to overcome a situation. And to also just take it, because we've talked a lot earlier about, it's very easy to blame someone else, but if you just take it from a good, that was meant to be, it happened, and this is what I learned from it, that's exactly what you've done. And here you are being a flourishing and prospering woman, which is amazing.
And empowering other women as well.
Yeah,
Whoever
absolutely.
is listening,
I'm
if they have their
inspired.
own stories.
Amazing.
And even she's inspired, as you can see. And getting goosebumps too.
Yeah,
So yeah.
it's wonderful.
You're giving her all different reactions. All right, Suhana, I think you need to get back. And thanks a lot for the lovely call.
Yeah, thank you very
and
much.
big high five.
Hi, 10.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. So we have this amazing call. I
Oh my
think
gosh.
that's the way to, finish the show
Yeah,
today
I
on
think
that
so
positive
too.
note.
There was one thing that I read earlier here that was written. It's just to acknowledge because
Yeah,
it was said
I would
here.
like to.
It said, this is Majrek. Is it Majrek? Is that how you say it? He said, Esther, Bobby came to Chittagong. Yes, I did. He said, really? Wow, we missed meeting you both. Bobby, how did you like staying in our lovely city? Bhaya, your present house address is still there, same location, etc. So first of all, yes, we were in Chittagong for 2 months. It was to be with his father. At the time, the country was a red zone. The country was in lockdown, and not just any lockdown. It was a full lockdown. And unfortunately, we had to stay very much at home because his parents were in a vulnerable condition. We were not able to go out a lot at all. Fortunately, he took me out for a ride on almost a daily basis, whether it was with a CNG or a rickshaw or in a car. So I could see all the places where he grew up, all the places, because we also didn't know with the circumstances when will be the next time I came back. At the very end, when all the medical situations were gotten under control and they were no longer an issue, we had a chance to meet with a few people, specifically people from his college originally, and also just to see specific people who had helped us a tremendous amount throughout this whole period. So at the time, I remember we were posting something saying like, look, if we haven't seen you, it is not because we don't want to see you, but it was just physically not possible. But it is definitely not the last time. And the next time we come, we absolutely will visit everyone that we have
Yeah,
since had to
definitely.
apologize for.
So And the last messages were about that song.
Yes.
Selena was asking.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised. Nikat is such an encyclopedia of Bollywood
She
movies.
is.
She even had given the name of that movie, Kurbani, which was a very popular movie back in the days
Yeah.
when we were growing up.
Nice.
And I remember because those were the days of VHS tape. And you get one tape and one movie everyone gets to see because it's shared.
It's true, and you see them over and over.
Over and
because
over
that's all you
again.
have.
That's
I
all
know,
we
same
have.
with
It's
us.
not. There's no Netflix. There's no Amazon Prime
Yeah.
or any other thing. So
Yeah.
that's what life was about. But we remember things better. We made memories. I think.
I think
So
so.
it's.
But I think since COVID, it's gone back to that situation where a lot, I mean, definitely for us, we were even talking about that yesterday, because for a year and a half, we were not able to enjoy each other's company. People appreciate a lot more what we have now. And you feel that.
And we are getting more aware. I think
I
these
think
days.
so, yeah.
These days we are getting more aware at this time,
Yeah.
point of time.
Yeah.
And I feel people, whoever is watching now, you can relate to it more.
Yeah.
So on that positive note, we'd like to say
Yeah, well,
Good night.
thank you to all of our listeners, everyone who called in. I saw at the last moment that Marie from Belgium was watching in. We did see you. Good to see you again. And everyone else who is with us tonight, it was wonderful. And as usual, we are stoked about having this show. It
it's
makes
a lovely
our day.
show today. All the contributions we
Yeah,
had in
wonderful.
terms of your calls,
Yeah.
your messages, your
Yeah.
comments, your book suggestions, and yes, the book club, and also the monthly get together. We should start planning so the group can gel and we
Yeah.
can talk about these things in
Yes.
person. It's such
Yeah.
a gratifying experience for me
Yeah.
and very humbling.
Yes, exactly.
So thanks Suhana, thanks Selena, thanks Nikat, thanks Saira, thanks
Yes.
Shifa, thanks Mashreq, thanks David, and anyone, Mari, you already
Yeah.
thanked her, thanks Shushmita, everyone else, whoever had written comments, that's how I know, but many people had watched, so I don't know your name unless you mention. So on that note, we'd like to say goodbye and everyone,
Good night.
Have a
Stay
great night.
safe. And we see you next week at 6 o'clock.
Bye.